Many people today live in a constant state of compromise. They appease others, shift their opinions to match those around them, and make themselves smaller so that they can fit into the expectations of others. This is a dangerous cycle, one that erodes your self-worth, weakens your resolve, and leaves you living a life that isn't entirely yours. It's easy to go along with what people want you to be. In fact, it's often encouraged. But there's a harsh truth that must be acknowledged. Stop being soft to everyone. Being soft doesn't mean showing kindness or compassion. It means allowing others to take advantage of you, to dictate how you should live your life, or to mold your beliefs and values to fit their ideals. When you're constantly accommodating others, adjusting yourself, and losing the strength of your convictions, you're engaging in self-destruction. It's a choice to be weak in the face of challenges, to bend to every whim, and to remain silent when your voice matters the most. But you cannot build a strong foundation if you're constantly erasing parts of who you are just to make others feel comfortable. Think about it. Life isn't about pleasing others. It's about knowing who you are and standing firmly in that truth. You can be polite, you can be respectful, but you cannot be a doormat. When you are too soft with people, you enable their bad behaviors and you teach them that they can walk all over you. This results in you losing respect for yourself and ultimately for them. You think you're helping others, but in reality you are preventing them from growing and becoming responsible for their own actions. The people who respect you the most are those who see you stand up for yourself, those who witness your boundaries, and those who observe you refusing to be walked over. If you want to be respected, you have to demand that respect by asserting yourself. This doesn't mean being rude, disrespectful, or aggressive. It simply means that you stand firm in your beliefs and values. You create an environment in which others understand that there are limits to what you will accept. Without limits, without boundaries, there is no room for growth, and there is no respect to be earned. If you're soft with everyone, you send a message to the world that you are weak. Your every word, every action, and every lack of action reveals your inability to stand up for yourself. It's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it and how you act. You may be convincing yourself that you're keeping the peace, but in truth, you're allowing chaos to take over your life. You end up in situations where you're constantly drained, where people walk over your needs, and where you're left feeling empty because you've given so much to others and received nothing in return. Moreover, when you're soft on others, you deny them the opportunity to confront the truth. They get comfortable in their bad behaviors, and they never have to face the consequences of their actions. By being too soft, you become complicit in their immaturity, their selfishness, and their failure to grow up. They may never learn how to handle challenges or overcome obstacles if you keep paving the way for them, removing all their discomforts. But growth happens only when we face challenges head-on. Growth happens when we deal with adversity, when we confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves and the world. You must learn to hold the line and stop tolerating behavior that degrades you. When you stop being soft with everyone, you begin to reclaim your own power. You start taking responsibility for your life and the choices that shape it. You stop pretending that everything is okay when it isn't, and you stop hiding from difficult conversations. If you want to succeed in life, if you want to live with integrity, you have to stop softening your stance for everyone who comes along. You must develop a backbone that stands tall and unyielding in the face of adversity. You must choose your battles wisely, but you must also be prepared to fight for what is right, for what is true, and for what is valuable. The truth is that most of the time, when you're soft on people, you're afraid. You're afraid of conflict, afraid of rejection, and afraid of standing alone. But real growth never comes from running from conflict. It comes from learning how to navigate it with grace, courage, and strength. It means having difficult conversations when necessary, saying no when it's required, and drawing a clear line when people attempt to cross it. This is how you build character and earn the respect of those around you. Moreover, when you stop being soft, you create space for authentic relationships. You attract people who value you for who you are, not who they can manipulate you into being. Real connections are built on mutual respect, honesty, and vulnerability, not on one person constantly compromising for the sake of the other. If you want to be surrounded by people who elevate you, you must stop being soft to those who do not appreciate your true self. The world will only treat you as you treat yourself, and when you stand firm in your convictions and protect your boundaries, you inspire others to do the same. It's time to stop being soft to everyone. It's time to demand that others meet you at your level of strength, courage, and integrity. You owe it to yourself to stop making excuses for other people's poor behavior, and you owe it to the world to stop shrinking yourself to fit their limitations. Take a stand. Draw the line. Speak your truth. Let the world see you for who you truly are, and let them respect you for the strength you carry within you. You must realize that the world does not reward weakness. In fact, it often takes advantage of it. Weakness is seen as an opportunity for others to dominate, manipulate, and exploit. This is not a matter of being harsh or uncompassionate. It's a matter of understanding that life is a series of challenges that test your resolve. The world will not give you respect, dignity, or success if you constantly give in to the whims and demands of others. You must stand your ground and make it clear that you will not be coerced or influenced by those who seek to diminish you. When you constantly accommodate others, you begin to lose sight of your own worth. You might convince yourself that you're doing the right thing, but deep down, there's a nagging feeling that you're not being true to yourself. This dissonance between your actions and your inner truth causes emotional fatigue, confusion, and resentment. The more you give in, the more you erode your own sense of self. You end up walking through life feeling hollow, constantly sacrificing your peace for the sake of others' comfort. This is not a sustainable or fulfilling way to live. On the other hand, when you stop being soft, you begin to understand the importance of self-respect. Respect for yourself is the foundation on which all other relationships are built. If you cannot respect yourself enough to set boundaries and stand firm in your beliefs, how can you expect others to do the same? The first person you must be honest with is yourself. You need to acknowledge the areas of your life where you've been too lenient, where you've compromised your values, and where you've allowed others to take advantage of your good nature. Once you confront these truths, you can begin the process of rebuilding. This may not be easy. It may require you to confront uncomfortable emotions, face difficult realities, and have tough conversations. But it is necessary if you want to regain control of your life. When you stop being soft, you also stop tolerating excuses. Many people will try to justify their behavior or make excuses for their actions, but you must recognize when those excuses are nothing more than attempts to manipulate you into accepting less than you deserve. We live in a culture that often rewards mediocrity, where people are encouraged to accept less in the name of avoiding discomfort. But growth does not come from settling for less. Growth comes from demanding more of yourself and the people around you. When you stop tolerating excuses, you begin to raise the standard for yourself and everyone else in your life. You hold people accountable for their actions, and you expect them to treat you with the respect you deserve. This doesn't mean you become callous or unapproachable. It means that you stop accepting behavior that undermines your well-being. It means that you no longer allow others to pull you down to their level of complacency. You begin to demand that those in your life rise to meet you at your level of standards. This is not about being better than others. It's about knowing your worth and refusing to compromise it for anyone. By stopping being soft, you also allow yourself the opportunity to be authentic. When you're constantly bending to the will of others, you're living in a way that is inauthentic. You're hiding parts of yourself because you're afraid that others won't accept you for who you truly are. But authenticity is the key to living a life of fulfillment. You cannot be who you are meant to be if you are constantly conforming to what others want. Your true power lies in your ability to embrace who you are, with all your flaws, strengths, quirks, and imperfections. When you stop being soft, you give yourself permission to show up in the world as your true self unapologetically, confidently, and fully. In many ways, stopping being soft is about confronting the discomfort that comes with standing your ground. You will face resistance, criticism, and pushback from others. People will try to make you feel guilty for setting boundaries, for demanding respect, or for refusing to be pushed around. But this resistance is not a sign that you're wrong. It's a sign that you're doing something right. True change and growth come when you push past the discomfort, when you stand firm in your convictions, and when you continue to rise despite the challenges. It's easy to give in. It's easy to keep the peace. But true strength comes when you stand firm in your truth and refuse to let anyone move you from your position. The world is full of people who want to pull you into their drama, to get you to react to their chaos. But when you stop being soft, you stop engaging with that noise. You begin to realize that your energy is precious and that it's not worth wasting on things that don't serve your highest purpose. You choose where to focus your attention, and you decide that your energy will go toward the things that will help you grow and become the best version of yourself. This is a profound shift in mindset. It requires you to let go of the need for external validation and to start trusting yourself. It requires you to stop looking for approval from others and to start living according to your own standards. One of the most powerful shifts that occur when you stop being soft is that you begin to take ownership of your life. You stop being a passive participant in your own story. Instead, you take an active role in shaping the life you want to live. You no longer wait for others to give you permission to speak your truth, to follow your passions, or to set your boundaries. You take the reins of your life and you start driving it in the direction that aligns with your purpose and values. This does not mean you become rigid or inflexible. It doesn't mean you stop listening to others or considering different perspectives. It means that you become discerning. You learn to evaluate situations, to assess your own feelings and needs, and to make decisions based on what is best for your growth and well-being. You stop being a pushover, but you don't become hard-hearted or unapproachable. You simply learn how to protect your energy, your time, and your peace. You learn how to say no when necessary and how to say yes only when it aligns with your true self. When you stop being soft, you create the life that reflects your strength, your courage, and your authenticity. You stop hiding behind the need for approval and embrace the power that comes from standing tall in your truth. The moment you stop being soft, you begin to see the world through a different lens. The false narratives you've held about being kind, giving, or compliant to others slowly start to unravel. You realize that these behaviors are not necessarily virtuous. They can, in fact, become detrimental to both your personal growth and your ability to truly connect with others. Being overly soft is a form of denial. It's denying your own needs, desires, and truths. It's denying the reality that you must protect your emotional, physical, and mental space in order to thrive. The first step in this transformation is being honest with yourself. Ask yourself, am I giving too much? Am I neglecting my own needs to accommodate others? Do I put others' happiness ahead of my own well-being? When you start answering these questions truthfully, you realize that in many ways you've been compromising your life. And it's not just a small compromise, it's a life-altering decision you've made to continually bend yourself out of shape for the sake of others. But true strength is not in bending or breaking, it's in standing firm. When you stand firm, you don't need to defend your position. Your very presence, your silence, and your actions speak louder than any argument or justification you could offer. People will respect you more when you simply show up as you are, unapologetic, assertive, and grounded in who you are. There's a significant difference between being compassionate and being a doormat. Compassion involves understanding others, offering kindness, and helping when you can. But being soft to everyone takes compassion too far. It crosses the line into self-sacrifice, where you abandon your own well-being to appease others. This creates an unhealthy dynamic. where you are constantly in a state of exhaustion and self-neglect. When you are soft to everyone, you prevent others from experiencing the consequences of their actions, and in doing so, you rob them of the chance to learn and grow. When you stop being soft, you give others the chance to step up, take responsibility, and become better people. You give them the opportunity to face their own shortcomings and grow from their mistakes. This doesn't mean you stop helping people. It doesn't mean you turn into someone who is selfish or unkind. But it does mean that you begin to draw clear lines about what you are willing to tolerate and what you are not. When you stop being soft, you stop enabling bad behavior. You stop accepting mediocrity. You stop accepting the bare minimum from others and from yourself. This shift is not just external, it's deeply internal. When you stop being soft, you stop doubting yourself. You stop second-guessing your decisions, questioning your worth, or apologizing for your choices. When you start standing firm, you gain a deep sense of clarity and confidence. You stop worrying about what others think of you because you know that the only opinion that matters is your own. Your opinions, values, and boundaries become your guiding compass in life. This internal shift gives you power. You stop feeling small, weak, or insignificant. Instead, you begin to feel like a force to be reckoned with. You begin to realize that your voice matters, your choices matter, and your presence in the world matters. You are no longer content with hiding in the shadows or accommodating others to fit into their expectations. You are standing tall, living fully, and embracing the strength that has always been within you. Of course, this isn't easy. It's much easier to stay soft. It's easier to take the path of least resistance, to simply go along with the crowd, to keep your opinions to yourself, and to avoid confrontation. But when you choose the easier path, you choose a life of mediocrity. You choose to stay small. You choose to avoid the challenges that would push you toward growth. You choose to stay stuck. Every time you let someone walk over you, every time you choose not to speak up, every time you shrink yourself to make others comfortable, you are reinforcing a pattern of weakness. You are teaching yourself that you don't deserve to be treated with respect, and you're teaching others the same lesson. But when you decide to stop being soft, you send a message to the world: I am not afraid. I am not weak. I am here to live boldly, to stand for what I believe in, and to live my truth. This shift in mindset requires courage. It requires the courage to say no when needed, to speak your truth even when it's uncomfortable, and to set boundaries that may challenge others. But this courage is not born overnight. It's cultivated through consistent action, through a commitment to being true to yourself every single day. Every time you stand firm, you strengthen your resolve. Every time you set a boundary, you reinforce your self-worth. Every time you refuse to tolerate disrespect, you teach yourself that you are worthy of honor. This commitment to self-respect doesn't mean you become cold or unkind. It means that you develop the strength to be both firm and compassionate, assertive and loving. It means that you create a space where you are not afraid to express your needs, where you are not afraid to take up space, and where you are not afraid to be the person you were always meant to be. It's about finding the balance between loving yourself and loving others, between respecting yourself and respecting others. When you stop being soft, you create an environment where everyone can thrive because they see you standing tall, setting an example, and showing them how to live with integrity. When you stop being soft, you also stop living in fear. Fear is often the driving force behind softness. We fear rejection, we fear conflict, we fear being judged. But fear is a liar. Fear keeps you small, keeps you stuck, keeps you from becoming who you are meant to be. It tells you that it's safer to hide, to conform, to blend in with the crowd. But safety doesn't lead to growth. Safety leads to stagnation. It leads to a life of unfulfilled potential. When you stop being soft, you step into your power. You step into your courage. You step into your greatness. This power is not about being domineering or controlling others. It's about owning your life. It's about taking full responsibility for your thoughts, your actions, and your decisions. It's about living intentionally, living with purpose, and living with a deep sense of conviction. It's about being willing to make hard choices, to face the discomfort, and to do what is necessary to become the best version of yourself. You cannot do this if you are constantly accommodating others, constantly second-guessing yourself, and constantly apologizing for who you are. You must be willing to stand up for yourself, for your values, for your vision. You must be willing to defend your right to exist as your authentic self. You must be willing to draw clear boundaries and make it known to the world that you will not tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or exploitation. This is how you take control of your life. This is how you become the person you are meant to be. It won't always be easy. The world will try to push you down, to make you conform, to make you shrink. But you have something within you that the world can't take away: your power, your truth, and your unwavering commitment to standing tall no matter what. You have the ability to rise above, to stand firm, and to live your life with strength and courage. Stop being soft to everyone. It's time to stop hiding. It's time to stop shrinking. It's time to stand firm in who you are, to live boldly, and to embrace the power that resides within you. The world will respect you when you respect yourself. The people in your life will rise to meet you at your level when you stop lowering your standards for them. You are worthy of standing tall, of living unapologetically, and of demanding the respect that is due to you. Step into that power. As you embrace the challenge of no longer being soft, you will encounter moments of discomfort and resistance. It is in these moments that your commitment to change will be tested. People around you may not understand your newfound boundaries, and they may try to pull you back into your old patterns. You might feel guilt or doubt creeping in, telling you that you're being too harsh or unkind. But this guilt is a sign that you are growing. You are reshaping yourself, and the discomfort you feel is the growth process itself. Growth always involves a certain amount of discomfort, a stretching of your boundaries and limits. When you stop being soft, you stop allowing others to dictate your worth. Instead, you become the architect of your life. You start to see that your worth is not something to be determined by the whims of others, but by your own values, principles, and actions. This newfound clarity can be liberating. It allows you to walk through life with a sense of peace that comes from knowing that you are living authentically. There is power in being able to make choices based on what you truly believe, not what others expect or demand from you. When you stop being soft, you stop caring about fitting into someone else's mold. You start to understand that there is no one-size-fits-all approach to life. You are unique, and your path is unique. The people who truly matter will respect you for who you are and for the boundaries you set. The ones who don't respect your boundaries will eventually fall away, and that's okay. The space they leave will be filled with the right people, those who can meet you at your level and challenge you to grow even further. The process of becoming firm in your own life is a continual practice. It's not a one-time decision. Every day you will have opportunities to reinforce your boundaries, to assert yourself, and to choose what is best for your well-being. These daily choices will become second nature as you continue to strengthen your inner resolve. The more you practice standing firm, the easier it becomes. You will no longer feel drained by the expectations of others. You will no longer feel like you are losing yourself in the process of trying to make everyone else happy. Instead, you will feel a sense of fulfillment that comes from living in alignment with your own values. There will be times when you question whether you are doing the right thing, but this is normal. The world may encourage you to keep giving, to keep pleasing, to keep being soft. But when you stop being soft, you will come to understand that true fulfillment does not come from pleasing others or from constant self-sacrifice. It comes from living with integrity, from honoring your own needs, and from standing firm in your beliefs. It is about being true to yourself, regardless of how others react. Every time you say no when you used to say yes, every time you set a boundary that others may not understand, you are asserting your power. Every time you stand your ground and refuse to compromise on your values, you are reinforcing the strength within you. And as you continue on this path, You will find that your life begins to reflect this inner strength. You will notice a shift in the way others treat you. They will begin to see you as someone who commands respect, someone who is not afraid to stand firm. This respect is not about being confrontational or combative, it's about being rooted in your own truth. It's about understanding that you have the right to exist authentically and to make choices that serve your highest good. As you move forward, there will be moments where you slip back into old habits. You may soften in certain situations out of habit or fear, but each time you do, it's an opportunity to refocus and reassert your boundaries. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be consistent. Over time, the practice of standing firm will become more natural, and the softness that once defined you will become a thing of the past. You will have transformed into someone who can no longer be easily swayed, someone who knows their worth and is unwilling to compromise on it. The most important thing you will learn is that the strength to stand firm is always within you. It doesn't come from external validation or approval. It comes from an inner knowing that you are enough as you are. When you stop being soft, you reclaim your power, your time, and your life. You stop allowing the world to dictate your worth and begin living according to your own standards. And as you do, you will find a profound sense of freedom and peace that comes from living authentically and unapologetically. In conclusion, stopping the pattern of being soft to everyone is not about rejecting kindness or compassion, but about recognizing your own value and asserting your right to live authentically. It is about drawing boundaries that protect your energy, your time, and your well-being, and refusing to shrink or compromise for the sake of others. The journey to becoming firm and standing strong is not easy. It requires courage, honesty, and consistent effort. But in doing so, you reclaim your power, build self-respect, and begin to lead a life that reflects your true self. As you stop being soft, you empower not only yourself, but also others to rise to meet you at your level, creating healthier, more respectful relationships and a more fulfilling life. Standing firm is the key to living a life of integrity and purpose, free from the constraints of external expectations.